All I could think when I saw this image is this is exactly the life that I don't want. You know, like I can't imagine being in Daniel's shoes and wanting to do this. Honestly, it makes no goddamn sense to me at all. So it's like, okay, oh great, you've got, they just see having lots and lots and lots of children as a blessing, and all I see is all the fucking work that would go into it, regardless of whether, you do have assistance, I suppose, when you have that much money, even people to help you, but it's still a lot, to do and everything. I mean, God help me and everything, and they're all so happy about it. I mean, and this poor woman has to, have child after child after child for this man and everything. And, we're all supposed to look at this and see a power couple and be all jealous of this and want it for ourselves and everything. And, all I can see is, I've heard he wouldn't even pay for an epidural for her, which is just stunning for me and everything, to think that nobody would even get a painkillers, in a birth, which is absolutely agonizing for women to go through and everything. And here she is, she's, baby after baby after baby, and it's like this reminds me of the Quiverful cult, and everything. It just like I live a child-free life. I like it that way. I want to keep it that way and everything. If anything, I would want and prefer that dink lifestyle, dual income, no children, and everything. And I'm looking at this image and I'm not seeing a life that I want for myself. I'm seeing something that's so reactionary and conservative and just so un-me and unappealing that it's stunning, really, that they put this out there. Like, I don't want this. This doesn't appeal to me in any way, shape, or form. I mean, it's just too much fucking work for one thing, and then on top of everything else, you're absolutely removed from modern conveniences. To go anywhere, it's 2 hours into the city and everything. You can't do anything fun. There's nothing to do and everything. There's no fun to be had, in this area. What happened to distractions and events that you could go to kill, a Friday night? No, I mean, you're right there on the fucking farm in the middle of Friday, and everything. And this is just this is exactly the kind of lifestyle that I don't want, and everything. When I see this, that's basically what I see. I see the work. I also see the way that, this man is being out, he doesn't treat her very well, you know, at the end of the day, but at the same time, she's getting a better deal than he is, and everything out of this whole operation, because, he's being sucked dry of all of his resources and everything, and whatnot, What does he get out of it? The sex and a little bit of company here and there. Meanwhile, all of his money is being pissed away for it and everything. And he's gonna have to spend a huge amount. It's $1 million for each of these children and everything, from birth to 18 at the very least, at everything. It's a financial catastrophe what they've done to themselves and the corner they've backed themselves into. But, whatever, you know, if they had not put themselves out there, trying to get us to all feel jealous of her and her lifestyle, and put themselves up and marketed themselves as a lifestyle that we ought to aspire to, I wouldn't be out here saying this stuff. I would just be saying, this is another man and his wife and everything, and it's none of my fucking business anyways, no comment. But instead, they're promoting themselves as if this life is something that all women should do. And so now I have to say something.